When the choice is be an adult or live with your parents who misgender you and call you by the wrong name, like, turns out being an adult is pretty awesome.
Hi, I'm not unsafe, but I am irritating. Jenny!
And I'm Alaska's right collarbone, Lily, and welcome to Lesbianswers.
Have you got LGBT questions? Because we've got Lesbianswers.
What are we talking about today, Jenny?
Today we got a question on Twitter.
Yay! I love it when we get questions on Twitter. If you have a question for us, you can tweet us at Lesbianswers or use the hashtag Lesbianswers in your question, and we'll pick that up and maybe we'll talk about it.
So this is from an anonymous 16-year-old.
Okay.
And they've sent kisses at the end, which is really cute.
I love kisses. Okay.
Hi, I identify as panromantic, asexual and genderqueer. I came out to my parents a year and a half ago, explained to them what that meant and told them my preferred name and pronouns. However, they still don't respect them. They still constantly call me by my dead name, use she or her pronouns and call me their daughter with no attempt of changing it, no matter what I tell them. Any advice for people whose parents don't respect their identity?
Oh.
That sucks. But also, congrats for being 16 and knowing your identity and being confident, and I hate using the word brave, but like brave enough to tell your folks.
Yeah. Do you want to run through what those identities are, just for anyone who's watching who doesn't know? So my understanding is that panromantic means there's the potential to be romantically attracted to anyone. Asexual means no sexual desire, no interest in having sex. And genderqueer means identifying your gender as something outside of the male-female binary. Sometimes someone who's genderqueer will switch between feeling more masculine, more feminine. Sometimes they just feel like neither of those labels really work for them or fit them. And so they're not taking part in the idea that everyone is either a man or a woman.
Yeah, it's outside of the binary.
Mm-hmm. Dead naming is when a person who has transitioned or has changed their name is still being referred to by a name they no longer use, a name that is dead to them. And I'm really sorry that your parents are being douchebags about this.
Yeah. You expect your parents to be there for you and to respect like who you are, including, you know, your pronouns and who you are.
Right. We talked about this before we started recording because it's advice we don't want to give, but we feel we have to.
Because you've said that you're 16, in most countries and in most places, that means you're still living with your parents, which means you can't just easily escape. We're presuming that because you're 16, you still live with them, and therefore there's going to be daily interaction.
Yeah. Because if you had sent us this message and been like, I'm 19 and I'm at university and this is the situation, I'd be like, well, maybe don't phone your parents quite so frequently.
Maybe find friends to go for Christmas to. But I think the awful part of the advice has to be you're going to have to kind of wait it out a little bit, which is hard. But the good thing is you have an end date. Yeah. You will be able to move out to go to uni, or you'll be able to move out under your own steam and get a job.
It will end and it will pass, and you will have a small quiet space that is purely yours. Everything you do in that space can affirm the truth of your identity and who you truly are. And I also want to say, we believe you and we trust you to know yourself, and we believe you that you are who you are.
Coping ways of having to stay around people.
Yeah. Like how to live through the next couple of years.
Limit your contact. I think because it's your parents and there's going to be so much that you have to be present for with them. If you have family meals and whatever it is, you're going to get enough of them day to day that when it's possible, stay locked up in your room or outside in the garden if you live in a country that's not minging.
You're 16, so if you're at a stage in your life where you have big exams in school this year, maybe don't get a job yet, but you're 16, so you're old enough to get a job. If that is something that's possible for you, that will give you some measure of independence. It will give you a way to start saving towards your future where you are completely free to just be yourself. Also, it will make you look responsible in the eyes of your parents if you get a job and if you are reliable and you work at that job.
Also, on the excuses, if you've got exams, you've got exams. I need to stay late at school this day. I need to lock myself in my room with 5 textbooks and a novel. I need to go to the library. I have a study session with Jason down the road. Whatever.
Ew, not Jason. He's gross.
Yeah, I think a lot of avoiding parents especially is coming up with reasonable reasons to be avoiding them, because otherwise you're just being surly, or they've got opportunities to scold you.
Also, like, maybe frame it for yourself as, like, if you limit the amount of time that you spend with them, and therefore you limit the amount that you are being misgendered and dead named, it means the time you do spend with them can be much more pleasant, because you will have that much more patience that you can expend when you do have to spend time with them. Maybe in a town or a city near you, there will be a youth group for LGBTQ young people. I know there's a couple in Edinburgh, I know there's a couple in Glasgow, those are the biggest cities near us, but wherever you are in a city near you, there's probably going to be some form of organisation where you can meet up and hang out with other queer young people.
They're an escape, but they're also people who will 100% get it. I think another bit of awful advice is with friends and with family to have a little bit of patience. I know you said that they're not doing it at all, and that is a legitimate thing to be angry about and disappointed about, but have a little bit of patience for the people that you can see making an effort, because it takes a little while for learned memory to kick in.
Don't be angry, don't raise your voice, don't be, like, surly with them. Say it in as neutral a way as possible, but reflexively, they say the wrong name, you say, please call me X.
And then continue on with the conversation, because that takes the focus away of them trying to argue the point with you, and just takes it back to whatever you're discussing. My friend changed her name and still lived with her parents. It's every day, multiple conversations, and they'd say the wrong name to get her attention, and she just say her name, and then continue on, and eventually it's got to the stage where it's very rare for them to dead name her. I really hope that you have friends that you've been able to come out to on this that understand and get it and are supportive, because that's necessary for everyone to have people on their side, and I hope that you have that.
Yes.
But I also hope that if you have that, there are people that you can bring round who can be other people to correct your folks.
Yeah.
Seeing that other people have no issues with you doing that, I think can really help make the point that this isn't half a big deal, and it's not that you don't love them and that you're rejecting being their child. Maybe their behaviour is making you kind of want to do that, but your identity isn't a rejection of their parenthood.
Yes. You may feel that you've already said this, but it may be worth trying to have, like, one conversation with whichever of your parents seems most sympathetic, and actually laying it out for them. When I changed my name, it's not because I don't love you, and it's not because I'm rejecting you as my parent. I love you, I will always be your child, but when you refer to me as your daughter, this is how it makes me feel.
Also, depending on how familiar your parents actually are with queer culture, educating them on that as well, just pointing out that here are some celebrities or some other people that have gone through this, and look how their family is supporting them.
Sometimes if there's, like, a TV show or a film where there's a character who has a particular identity, that can really help people to identify with someone in their real life who has that identity. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any TV shows or films with a genderqueer character in them, but viewers, if you can, please leave your suggestions in the comments below.
Hopefully you have a good school, and they're happy to make these changes for you, because that's another thing that will really help. Other things you can do are, we have a lovely episode on our LGBT alphabet soup that does cover some of these identities, so you could leave that open on a computer and hope your parents look at it.
For you, for your identity, like, find your community online, find your community in person, find your community through fiction and media. So like read books with queer characters, it will help you feel less alone. Listen to music by queer people and about queer people, watch films by and about queer people. Surround yourself with the support that you need, even if you can't get that support in person. You can get it online, you can get it from media. I know that watching TV shows like The L Word was a lifesaver for me. It just made me feel less alone.
Representation is important.
So important.
And being able to see your stories.
Yeah.
It's hugely uplifting.
Yeah. And listen to music by genderqueer people like Jinx Monsoon and Adore Delano and Courtney Act, all of whom are genderqueer, all of whom make really good music.
Very good luck. I really hope your parents come around and become good people.
And if they don't, it's only a few more years before you can be out on your own, self-supporting, being your truest, most authentic self on a day-to-day basis.
When we say find the people, find your allies, find people who support you, like, they can become your new family.
Gay people, we get to choose our family. You know, we get to choose the people that we're around.
Best of luck. We love you. If someone has a question for us, how should they get in touch with us, Jenny?
We're reachable via email, lesbianswers@gmail.com. You can tweet us at lesbianswers. You can use the hashtag lesbianswers on any other social media and we will find it.
And have a great day, make good choices, and we'll see you next week. Bye! If you are a queer youth and you're in Scotland and you need rescuing, we will take you out for hot chocolate and talk to you about drag queens.
She will talk to you about Alaska. I'll mention a couple of other drag queens.
You will mostly talk about Trixie and Katya.
I like lots of other ones.
I like lots of drag queens too. I also worship Detox. I also love Sharon Needles.
Well, fuck you too.
Well, we already established that this is going to be our last episode ever because you told me I have to stop talking about Alaska so much.
I didn't say that. I said it.
You
would
implied it.
I said it would be refreshing. I didn't say that I expected you to stop, and I didn't say you had to stop.
Good, because I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I know.
If you're in Perth,
just escape.
Good luck.
Just run away in the middle of the night.
No,
Never look
don't.
back.
That's the worst advice. Don't do that.
I mean, but Perth.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.